Hi there, welcome to another episode here on Bustthenet, brought to you by One Football App. We continue our little look at the low block strategy that I've been using with both my Kingstonian team and my Ajax team. Now it's a good chance for me to show you how I do low block with weak teams and how I do low block with good teams because it's slight differences between the two. And so far we've been doing quite all right. Ajax have been doing all right with the low block. I mean, I'm not a big fan of playing counter tactics, right? Standard low pace, counter mentalities. No, I've never liked playing counter, but because I've been asked quite a few times by my patrons, can I show them how I play a low block? So I've decided, well, okay, I'll play a couple of matches on a low block. I've done a few videos on the low block as well, but this is so that you guys can see how I use the low block. Maybe it'll give you some ideas in your save. All right, so the first thing about the low block with Ajax is I've used several tactics with the low block here. I've used the 4-1-3-2, I've used the 4-3-1-2, and now doing it with the 4-2-3-1. So this is the 4-2-3-1, and I've got it set up for a low block. Now, what is a low block? Low block essentially means this: you defend deep and you hit them hard when they get there. That's it. Okay. You see quite a number of teams using a low block in real life. Lazio, Burnley to some extent, and they drop back. But once you get into that zone, they have to tackle you hard. You can't just stand there and go, oh, hey, I'm back here deep like a cone. No traffic cone defending here. You got to step out. So what happens is we give them close down more and tackle harder on the flanks as well as sit narrower. So these two guys are literally the same. The two central defenders are told to tackle harder. If you have side midfielders, you tell them to tackle harder as well. And then the rest of the team, nothing much. Now, in terms of team instructions, we work ball into box. I'll explain why I use the exploit in the middle. Play narrow, use tighter marking, use offside trap, much deeper defensive line, and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. Now, this is also depends on whether you have a top heavy or a neutral system. A neutral system is basically one or two defenders, and a top heavy system is going to be one that uses three or more players in wide attacking positions. Now here I am using prevent short goalkeeper distribution because I literally only have two central midfielders. Now you could take this off and there won't be that much more different, but depends on how you want to play your low block. Now, my low block isn't meant to be too deep. I'm not parking the bus. I'm just drawing them in, because we are quite strong here in Ajax, so I'm drawing them in. I'm just letting them commit forces into attack, and then they will just walk into a wall, and I want to win the ball back, and I've got players waiting to attack. So, we can also remove this shot. I mean, since I'll just do a pure low block. I was planning to do a modified one, but never mind. This should be enough as well. Okay. What else? Yes, the roles. I'm using a complete forward because I want the guy to drop deep. So he drops deep, helps out the team. This is a very CA dependent role, meaning current ability has to be good. You can't just use any Tom, Dick, and Harry to play the complete forward. I've seen people use complete forwards players as complete forwards. They shouldn't be played as complete forwards. It needs a lot of attributes. Now, if you don't have a lot of attributes, you could do it differently. You can play a poacher. In this sense, probably your team is going to revolve around. Maybe you might want to move the attacking playmaker to the left, giving the other players a chance to do something with the ball in this area. But generally, you could use a poacher in this tactic without too much of a problem. I'm using inside forwards because this guy's going to drop deep and operate in the half spaces. And then we got these two jokers here who are going to be doing something on their own. A lot of action is going to come from these two. You got a box to box and a central midfielder on defense, wing backs, and a defensive fullback on defense. Now, sometimes in a low block, I even have wing backs on attack, but not in a 4-2-3-1, more in a wingerless tactic. Yeah, narrow system like a 4-1-3-2. I might use wing backs on support. There, I use shouts like the look for overlap shot and the exploit the middle shot interchangeably during a game. It'll all depend on what the AI is fielding. Now here with this setup, I'm also looking at training as well because like here Dolberg, in my system of play, Dolberg doesn't really train as a complete forward. He trains more like an inside forward because sometimes I drop him into these positions depending on which day of the week my get out of bed. Seriously, I'm that kind of a player. I mean, at Dobok, if I feel like, shit, today I'm going to have share house play here. So, because I rotate my players so much, so I need Dolberg to play well as an inside forward. He's okay as an inside forward, but he's a much better complete forward. And when I put him here, it's like, wow, okay. But here I want to develop Shearhouse more than I want to develop Dolberg, because I kind of like want to sell Shearhouse eventually. Then we've got other players. We've got Donny van der Beek. Van der Beek is injured for the next 2 to 7 days, so I'm going to keep him protected for a while. Van der Beek is very important as the box-to-box midfielder in my system. Now here, these two guys are damn important. I mean, if you're playing a 4-2-3-1, they better be good. Okay, well, I'm a bit worried because I think is okay, not that fantastic. His biggest weakness is his acceleration. It's only 9. It's a serious problem. The other option, of course, is for me to use Simeon Passa. Simeon Passa is okay. Passing is only 11. I need Aiting in a sense, because Aiting is a big. It's for me. This is a big problem. I'll just use Christique here. Oh my God, Passa is this is a problem for us, because Aiting's acceleration is very low. So he's been put on quickness, and I'm hoping this thing goes up. It's still been a while. It hasn't really exploded. It's a priority for this team to find defensive midfielders, because even in our youth setup, we don't have a lot. So we've got Weltman. Other option, of course, to play Verheerwe in that position. He's a capable lieutenant as a DM, but because I don't use him as a DM very often, I use him more as a inverted wingback or a wingback, then I just leave him here for the time being. Okay, we've got the players all sorted. And now we'll just head on down for our match against PSV Eindhoven. The teams are warming up, and we're all set. They're playing a very defensive they're playing counter-structured with a defensive back line. All right, what do we do against a team that's going to be sitting like that? All right, what we're going to do is now I want to do prevention of goalkeeper display. I don't want them to I want them to be under some pressure in the front, but with a higher defensive line, it will come in handy. But with so many players playing forward, we could do something with pressure. Okay, we're going to roll from positions as well. Standard structure. I'm not going to change my width. Everyone is set. I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on Kluivert, because he's lately has not been lasting for the whole match. We'll slow the pace down and watch it on extended. Nick Verheerwe has taken a knock already. So we're going to make our first substitution. I need Verheerwe fit for the rest of the season, especially with Champions League matches coming up. So this is one substitution. The other substitution will be Kluivert. Kluivert will also be coming off very quickly. Dykes to Werber to Ziyech. Ziyech out wide to Neres. Neres to Ziyech. Ziyech to Christique. Christique to Dolberg. Dolberg plays a beautiful ball for Kluivert. Kluivert does not play the pass. The idiot. It was perfectly set up. We had two guys in the box. We just played it to. All right, now you look at the backline retreat. Sit narrower, so the backline has gone all the way back. Veltman playing it out to David Neres. I mean, I could play with fullbacks as support, but they'll give up some space out wide. And my goal is here to play a very defensive-looking 4-2-3-1. There's the danger of playing that kind of a strategy is, of course, we will be vulnerable to shots from range. There is no denying that. And this. So if they manage to get the ball down the line, there's nothing a deep defensive line can do. Lorenzo Christique dropping 72%. He is another one who's got issue with match conditioning. De Jong under some pressure. Gustafsson out wide. He goes to De Jong again. Can he put in a cross? They are under some pressure. Good defending. Tight onto the player. Dolberg is on his own. Complete fall. Play it back. Kluivert plays it back to Dolberg, who's gone wide. Players are interchanging places, but Kluivert takes another shot from range. Now this is pissing me off. Kluivert is coming off. He's not a team player today. I'm going to have to take him off. A very disappointing performance from Clive. Team talk, aggressive, and I'm going to take Clive off and bring on Waclav Chierney. Gustafsson to Schwab to Pons. Pons plays the ball long. Neres is not having a good game either. Both of them are not playing their normal game. Onana to Dalit, they seem to be saving this for a YouTube show. Neres does well, beats one player, on to Christique. Christique to Chierney. Chierney, what can he do? Tries to play the pass in. Dykes plays it back to Pasa. Pasa to Christique. Christique to Ziyech. Ziyech tries to play the through ball. Werber to Chierney. To Christique. Neres out. Does it finally. Alright, took them quite a while. I was getting a bit annoyed. Because I'm used to 3 or 4 goal margins right now with this team. So this took them. Clivett was not playing well. So this is much better. David Neres squaring the ball. And now the way we set up the 4-2-3-1, we should have plenty of goals in this if the boys square the ball. That's it. 75 minutes. Yo Weltman is at 71%. Most of the team is okay. Christique is on a yellow card. Okay, whoa. They're down to a man. This is when I change strategy. I will remove the exploit the middle shot now. There's no need to exploit the middle. In fact, I'm thinking of doing look for overlap. But no. I mean, yeah, we'll look for overlap. There's only a few minutes left, so I doubt it's going to make that much of a difference. Why are we doing look for overlap? Look for overlap will reduce the forward runs for the guys in the middle of the park and put a lot more pressure from my wingbacks. But now my wingbacks also on a defensive mentality, so it's not really going to affect me that much. I should change their role, but it's not really necessary. We're playing a very simple game. Just keep ball and do something with it. Dykes to Ziyech. Oh, it's all over. It's a boring win over PSV Eindhoven. There's only 1-0. Not a fantastic match. I'm sorry. I was expecting more fireworks. Yeah, we were quite. The team is getting a bit complacent. That's the only thing I can say about the way we've beaten. The only way we have beaten this team. So we're very complacent at the moment, and I do apologize for our complacency. Verhever to miss the Benfica game. Injured, thigh strain. It's a bit of a disappointment. Out for 2 to 4 weeks. Verhever goes out and Van der Beek is coming back in. So our match against Benfica is, we're playing Benfica in the next round. Champions League knockout is going to be against Benfica. This is interesting. Well, so far we've been doing okay against, we used the 4-2-3-1 against Groningen. We slapped them around 3-1. This game against PSV Eindhoven was a real brutal match. You can see the number of yellow cards that flew in this game. And at the end of the day, we did get one over PSV away from home. We continue our winning streak. We haven't lost yet at home. We lost a friendly. But so far, we're still undefeated in the Eredivisie. Well, if you have any questions about the low block, please look me up on Twitter at Bustthenet or addicted2fm.com, my website. Once again, I'd like to thank all my patrons for the continued support of this channel. I hope the ideas of the low block come in handy for you. And if you do have any questions, please look me up. You guys take care. Have a good one. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.